live from the 801, bringing you the best pro wrestling on the planet. The only show you need to listen to. Opinions you won't hear anywhere else. Where we talk all day until the wheels fall. Or just until we hit our time goal. From the WWE to AEW to New Japan, back down to AAA in Mexico, along with every other promotion in between. This is First Pin. And now, here's your host, Kevin Danger.
Welcome to the First Pin Podcast. I am your humble and gracious host, Kevin Danger, and I want to thank you guys for joining me on this WrestleMania 36 pre-show or WrestleMania. Yeah, that's what it is actually. It's the WrestleMania 36 pre-show. I'm going to be talking about all the things that happened this week. And yeah, it's April 4th. Tonight is the first night of WrestleMania 36 because it's too big for one night. So without further ado, I'm going to try to keep this in 45 minutes to an hour because like I said, we do got the WrestleMania pre-show. I'm going to have my predictions at the end. And next week we'll be talking everything that happened with WrestleMania. I'm going to try to do a conversation with the people from turnbuckletrash.net. See if I can throw that into the podcast as well. So next Saturday might be a longer episode, but I'm going to try to get some guests on here so we can talk everything that happened with WrestleMania starting today. So let's jump into it with everything that happened this week, starting off with
Monday Night Raw.
So on Monday Night Raw, it started off with Undertaker cutting a promo on AJ Styles. Now this was a really good promo. It kind of had that mixture of the Undertaker / American Badass, and he was cutting a promo saying that AJ Styles was jealous. You know, there were some funny shots in there saying that, oh, you're jealous because Michelle McCool does the Styles Clash better than you, and she made it more, and she made it famous before you did, and this and that. And, I saw a lot of people like, oh, I didn't know that Undertaker can cut a promo like that, and this and that. Like, dude, Undertaker can cut promos ever since like his Ministry of Darkness days. That's when he really started cutting really good promos. So I mean, to me, it wasn't a surprise that he was able to do that. It was just setting up to his Boneyard match at WrestleMania 36, which is going to be really interesting to see what they're going to do with that. But yeah, man, it was a really good promo. And that's what Monday Night Raw was filled with. It was filled with a lot of good promos. After that, Becky Lynch came out and cut a small promo, and then it cut to the main event of WrestleMania 35. It showed the whole match where she became Becky Two Belts. Now, my biggest thing on that was they actually showed that Ronda Rousey had her shoulders up. And that was pretty interesting for them to do that. I mean, they kind of showed it and then they cut away from it, but it's just like, nah, dude, they showed it. So maybe that's going to set up another storyline down the road for when Ronda Rousey comes back. Maybe for WrestleMania 37 is where we get Ronda versus Becky for the Raw Women's title. But after that, she came out and she was just talking, cutting a promo on Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler came out and put the submission hold on her, then slammed her on the announcer table and picked her up and whacked her against the announcer table. And then she picked up the belt and just left it on. She left it on Becky, and that was pretty cool it was pretty cool to finally see Becky. Not get handed, but basically to see Shayna Baszler actually inflict some kind of damage on her, because it was always Becky was always the one getting the upper hand, and it was cool to finally see Shayna get the upper hand on Becky Lynch on the road to WrestleMania. Then after that, we had Aleister Black defeated Jason Cade with a black mass. This was another match to set up, I guess, Aleister Black versus Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania. Just another quick match for Aleister Black. Then after that, we had Kevin Owens and the Street Profits. They defeated Seth Rollins, Angel Garza, and Austin Theory. Now, I don't know if you guys been seeing around what happened to Montez Ford. Took a really nasty bump on the dive to the outside. That was pretty nasty, and hopefully we don't see that at WrestleMania because yeah, that really looked like it hurt, man. I don't know what he was thinking by the looks of it. Um, One of the guys missed their cues on what they were supposed to do, which resulted in him having just to go through with it and have that be the result. Anyways, after that, Kevin Owens cut a really good promo on Seth Rollins. Like I said, Monday Night Raw was filled with really good promos. Kevin Owens cut a promo basically telling Seth that that he's gonna have his WrestleMania moment, that the past doesn't matter. His past doesn't matter. Seth Rollins' past don't matter. That at WrestleMania 36, he's going to create his first WrestleMania moment, and he's going to create it by destroying him, by destroying Seth Rollins. So I thought that was pretty cool. You know, Kevin Owens kind of went into the past and came back into the present and this and that. So yeah, it was just a really strong promo. After that, we had Edge cut a good promo on Randy Orton, talking about the passing of the torch, how he got the torch and this and that, and the biggest thing that stood out from this promo was basically saying that Randy Orton dug himself into a hole, but this time Edge wasn't going to take him out. He was going to push him deeper and darker into that hole. So that's going to, man, this is going to be a really good match between Edge and Orton. I would possibly see this a main event, possibly tonight in night one, because these guys are literally going to tear. I think they're gonna go through this whole performance center, and maybe that's the real reason the performance center got shut down because these guys straight up destroyed it. And I don't want to see no false finishes on this, no false counts. I just want to see maybe one false, maybe one almost to 8, 9, and they get up and before the end. It's gonna be interesting to see how they're gonna set up the victory to where Orton is not gonna answer a 10 count, and who knows, maybe the surprise is and they'll have Orton beat Edge. We'll see. After that, we had the MVP of the empty arena shows. Asuka defeated Kaden Carter just to make, kind of went through her pretty quick to kind of show up for her loss to Alexa Bliss last week, and kind of to show her that on this that's the biggest thing with Asuka, honestly, is just there's weeks where she looks real, where they'll put her in these kind of matches and she'll look really strong, and there's weeks where they'll put her against like Alexa Bliss and she'll lose. Does not make any sense, but she is the MVP because after that she got on commentary and she just went crazy, just started yelling in Japanese and cutting her promo in Japanese, and it's fun. She looks like she's having a fun time during these empty arenas, during these empty arena shows on Raw and SmackDown. And like I said, she's the MVP. She makes it entertaining, not makes it entertaining for the whole show, but when she pops out, she makes it entertaining, makes you want to laugh and everything. And then after that, we had Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar address Drew McIntyre one last time. This was another really good promo. I mean, it was a good promo, but it was kind of like the same. I don't feel like we needed another Paul Heyman promo to set up this match against Drew McIntyre, though they showed a really cool vignette of Drew McIntyre working out in the hills of. Man, I'm shooting a blank right here on where he's from. Scotland? I think he's Scottish. Dang. Y'all are gonna be mad if he's not. Anyways, but where from Drew McIntyre's from, he was out there in the hills. It kind of had like that Rocky vignette of him working out and all that stuff. So that was pretty cool. I think I would have done good with that and possibly another match. I don't even care if maybe had Drew McIntyre and came out and do a squash match or whatever. But yeah, I mean that's what it was. It was a good promo, guys. That's all I can say. It's kind of hard to really talk about it because it was a good promo, but just the same old Paul Heyman was basically saying, "Oh, you're gonna be a big star and this and that." But The Rock was big, and you were the next. He was basically saying that Drew McIntyre was the next big thing. That's the same role that Brock Lesnar was in, and he took down The Rock, he took down Hulk Hogan, he took down. I think he names off all the people that Brock Lesnar is beating. It's cool because I mean the cool part that I thought was cool was he went into the UFC names and went into Randy Couture. Dang. Like I said, guys, I'm shooting a blank. I'm recording this early in the morning, and I should have written down. But I mean, I cheered for Brock when he was in the UFC because I thought it was cool to see a WWE wrestler have success in the UFC. But I'm iffy on him. I don't hate Brock Lesnar like a lot of people do. I totally respect him. And if you guys want to figure out a way to try to really respect him, go onto the WWE Network and watch the Ruthless Aggression era episode and watch everything that he did in 2 years and why he left and this and that and why he's basically a part timer. You'll get a whole new level of respect for him. So now let's get into
AEW Dynamite.
So on AEW, it started off with Kenny Omega defeating Trent in what was a really good match that almost went to a 20-minute draw time limit. And I saw a lot of people pissed off on the internet. Oh, Kenny Omega shouldn't be having these almost 20-minute time limit draws with someone like Trent. Wait a minute, dude. Y'all complain when Kenny Omega doesn't have good matches. And when he has good matches, y'all still complain. Y'all need to shut up and appreciate what Kenny Omega is doing. Dude, I don't care if he's not supposed to have these 20-minute matches with Trent. Yo, if he can take someone like Trent, who we only have seen in the tag team scene, take him into a singles match and make Trent show everything that Trent can do, dude, that's awesome by Kenny Omega for him to do that. Kenny Omega could have been in there. Yo, I'm gonna give you a 10-minute match and I'm gonna whoop your butt all over the ring because I'm the greatest wrestler in the world. No, he said, yo, we're gonna go in there, we're gonna freaking put a barn burner on, and we're gonna go from there. Seriously, stop complaining about Kenny Omega. The man's a genius. After that, we had Hikaru Shida defeated Anna Jay, who made her AEW Dynamite debut. Anna Jay supposedly, reportedly, I haven't really searched up info on her, but they were saying that she was out of the Nightmare Factory, where they're having some of these wrestlers, I guess from the indie scenes or whatever, or maybe not from the indie scenes, homegrown talent, whatever the case is where they are working on their skills in the ring and on the microphone and all that. And she looked really good for Hikaru Shida to do that, to put her over in that way, even though she didn't get over, but she still put Anna Jay over, whether you like it or not, because she got some offense in. Hikaru Shida could have got in there and done a 5-minute squash match, but I think they put on a really good, like, I think it was like a 10 to 15-minute match, and it was a really good showing for Anna Jay. She has a lot in this and in AEW, so it's going to be interesting to see, if she does stay on AEW Dynamite, to see where she's going to go after that. Then they had a video package announcing 2 weeks John Moxley versus Jake Hager for the AEW World Championship in an empty arena no holds barred match. Now this was pretty funny in my opinion because dude, you don't gotta say it's an empty arena no holds barred match. You can say it's a no holds barred match because we all know they're empty arenas. But I get it, AEW's trying to, be funny in some type of way. But hopefully once all this is gone, we seriously do not have any more empty arena matches. Then after that, we had Lance Archer made his debut and he straight up murdered poor Marco Stunt. I mean, I totally get it. They're trying to make Lance Archer look humongous, and in that one, it looked like Marco Stunt was like 3 feet tall, and Lance Archer looked like he was 9 feet tall. And I would totally believe if you said, yo, Lance Archer is 9 feet tall. Show somebody that picture, and they're like, yo, I totally believe that. After that, we had Brody Lee, and after that, we had a Brody Lee and Dark Order vignette, basically where it looked like Brody was taking shots at Vince McMahon. When again, I thought it was pretty funny. It was kind of like a whole meeting. He was meeting with some of the recruits, I guess, from the Dark Order, and then one of them. Sorry, shooting a quick blank, but so much wrestling. Anyways, yeah, one of them was basically saying, they made him. He's like, oh, say, what do we say? And he said it, and he's like, no, that's not how you say it. And then the other guy was, I think the funniest one though to me was when the guy was yawning. He's like, Brody Lee's like, why are you yawning? There's no reason for you to be tired. There's nothing literally open in the world right now, and you are tired. There is no reason for you to be tired. And a lot of people were saying that was a shot at Vince McMahon. Now, I thought it was funny to a certain point. I mean, I hope some people are like, oh, I don't mind if this is going to be a week to week thing where we get to know more about Vince McMahon. Yeah, I totally understand that, but I want to see this Dark Order take on what it was supposed to be and not just a Vince McMahon parody of just making fun of Vince McMahon every week. So I kind of hope they do change that up. Anyways, after that, we had the Natural Nightmares. Dustin Rhodes and QT Marshall defeated 8 and 9 of the Dark Order. After that, Brody Lee came out and he basically booted the head out of one of 8 or 9 or 9,000 and something. I don't know. Anyways, yeah. So now let's get into real quick into what was basically the show stealer, and it wasn't a match. If you haven't seen it by now, it was Chris Jericho's video package of him being at home in his hot tub talking about the Elite. He was first making fun of the Elite, saying that they're the worst group of people that he's ever met. And then out of nowhere, Vanguard 1 appears. And then Jericho got out of the hot tub and apologized to him and offered him an Inner Circle t-shirt so he could join the Inner Circle. And then Vanguard 1 flew away and Jericho straight up threw the bottle of the bubbly. He was like, hey, come back here. And threw the bottle of the bubbly. Totally get it. Jericho has hella money. He can afford another bottle of the bubbly. And the funniest part was when Vanguard 1 was flying away, he was like, hey, come back, come back. And then Jericho's like, release the hounds. Straight up says, release the hounds. And then you see like from 6 to 8 dogs run out of nowhere after Vanguard 1. And it's big dogs, medium dogs, small dogs, and even a tiny chihuahua. And honestly, Jericho's just out there in AEW. I mean, he was at home for this vignette, and man, he's just having a blast. And it's awesome to see Chris Jericho like this. He is honestly one of the greatest, not saying one of the greatest of all time, especially in this generation, the way that he keeps reinventing himself. Dude, he's making it interesting with the robot, with the drone. He's putting that drone over like crazy. So yeah, that was pretty funny. If you guys haven't seen that, I totally recommend you guys go out and watch that. Out of everything, just watch that from AEW and you'll have a blast laughing your butt off. Anyways, and in the main event, we had Sammy Guevara and Shawn Spears defeated Cody and Darby Allin. This was a pretty fun match also. There was a point where Sammy Guevara and Shawn Spears were betting to see who can hold Darby up longer, and I guess like in a suplex kind of way. One was like, oh, 10 seconds, and the other one was like 15 seconds, and this and that. So that was pretty fun. There was another scene where Cody kind of shot to the outside, and he went over the rail because the railing was super close, and then the heels were beating up on him, and then Britt Baker took off her shoe and started attacking Cody Rhodes with the shoe and this and that, which was hilarious again, in my opinion. But honestly, yeah, it was a good show. It was a fun show. They had less people out in the they had less people out in the crowd, but they still had enough people to where it was still fun. So now we're gonna jump ship into
Wednesday night NXT.
now in NXT. It was more of a serious show, more of a wall to wall wrestling show nonstop. We had the Velveteen Dream defeated Bobby Fish in a good match. It was a really good match. By the looks of it, they're having Velveteen Dream go through everybody of the Undisputed Era, and I guess maybe somehow, some way, in a couple weeks, we will get a match between Velveteen Dream and Adam Cole. I had to get some water there. Excuse me. Then we have the debut of two wrestlers, one known as Dexter Loomis and the other one known as Jake Atlas. Atlas. And Dexter Loomis defeated Jake Atlas. Um, it wasn't that. It wasn't an enhancement match. It was a pretty good match, but overall, yeah, that's what ended up going through. Then we had Dakota Kai. She won the second chance gauntlet match to earn a spot in the ladder match to determine the number one contender for the NXT Women's Champion after WrestleMania. And she won basically by with help from her assistant Raquel Gonzalez. But Shotzi Blackheart was basically she was dominating everybody in that gauntlet match until the end. So it was a strong showing for Shotzi Blackheart. Maybe NXT really likes who what she's been doing so far. So we'll see. I'm more interested to see who's really going to win that ladder match, especially since Bianca Belair isn't in it. But from that strong showing of Shotzi Blackheart, we'll see where her career is going to go after this. Then we had Kushida defeated Joaquin Wilde. After that, Joaquin Wilde was taken because I guess a couple weeks ago, I don't know if talked about it on here, but Raul Mendoza was taken by some people in mask, and now Joaquin Wilde was taken, which to me was pretty interesting. With taking these guys, maybe it's gonna lead into a faction, but I have no idea, and we will see. And in the main event, we had a barn burner of a match between Keith Lee, where he defeated Damian Priest and Dominic Dijakovic to retain the NXT North American title. I mean, these guys put on a really good match. So many good spots in the match, but yeah, in the end, Keith Lee retained the title. Now let's jump into
Friday Night SmackDown.
now for Friday Night SmackDown. It was an okay show. Oh, man, sorry about that. But it was an okay show. Honestly, it was a good show. So let's jump into it. Tamina defeated Naomi and Lacey Evans in a triple threat. They had a triple threat match. And at commentary they had Sasha Banks and Bailey. And in the end, after Tamina won, Bailey got in the ring basically to congratulate her, and then Tamina super kicked her head off. Um, I don't really know much of Tamina, but I mean, is her finisher super kicks? Because she's straight up super kicking the head off of everybody, literally. And then after that, we had Tucker defeated Dolph Ziggler via disqualification. Now, this is where it got super interesting, and this is where it kind of affected my WrestleMania 36 predictions. Because in the end, we had that hacker. Remember, I don't know if you guys have been seeing the hacker, the circle hacker, or whatever. Anyways, this guy came out with the hoodie on. Couldn't really tell who his voice was. I thought it was Sami Callihan because of Sami Callihan's new gimmick, but he is now with the WWE. And he basically showed footage that Sonya Deville is now the biggest heel in the world. Honestly, she is. She was the one who it kind of went back to Valentine's Day, and it kind of showed well, not no blah blah blah. Cut that off. It didn't kind of show. It straight up showed her wishing Mandy Rose luck, and then Mandy Rose forgot her phone, and she straight up picked up Mandy Rose's phone and sent the text to Otis saying that she was gonna be late. And the reason I say, oh, but how do you know that? Because there's audio in the video, and she's saying, she's speaking. I don't know how many of you do that. Sometimes I do that. She is straight up speaking the words that she is typing in, saying that to Otis. And then it cuts to her somewhere backstage basically telling Dolph Ziggler, hey, I shot Mandy a text that that she was going to be late. uh she shot a text, right? She told Dolph, hey, I shot a text to Otis, me pretending to be Mandy, that I'm going to be late. This is where Mandy is. Show up. So when Otis shows up, he is heartbroken, and you will get Mandy in the end. And it shows Dolph Ziggler agreeing to that. So it straight up made Dolph Ziggler a bigger heel than he already is, and it straight up put Sonya Deville as a heel. Now, I was originally no way that I ever think that it would. Well, yeah, I kind of knew that it would have been Sonya. I didn't think that this would ever be revealed. And Mandy Rose did look heartbroken because in the beginning she was telling Sonya, "Yeah, I know he's a bigger guy, but he's super cute. He's funny. He's super nice and all that stuff." So she was heartbroken by that, and it's gonna be interesting to see where that's going to be for their WrestleMania 36 match, what I will get into shortly when I do my WrestleMania 36 predictions. After that, we had Daniel Bryan defeated Shinsuke Nakamura via DQ. I mean, this kind of still pushed into the story because there was interference by Sami Zayn and Cesaro and Drew Gulak, and basically just setting up more heat on, putting more heat on Sami Zayn for his match against Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania 36. And then in the main event, we had John Cena come out and accept Bray Wyatt's challenge for a Firefly Funhouse match. Now this was where it got pretty interesting because he was straight up talking trash about Bray Wyatt, saying that he ain't afraid of Bray Wyatt. There was a point where he even called him Husky Harris, Bray Wyatt's old name slash gimmick, basically saying that he was gonna kick Bray Wyatt's ass, that he wasn't gonna fall for his games. He wasn't gonna fall in fear, and all the mind games that Bray Wyatt and the Fiend play. That he wasn't gonna fall for it. That at WrestleMania he was gonna finish what he started 6 years ago, and he was gonna end Bray Wyatt's career and this and that. Now it got super interesting when Rambling Rabbit showed up out of nowhere and started saying that after WrestleMania 36 that he would be playing with them forever, and he kept saying forever, forever, and all the rest of the Firefly Funhouse animals or toys or whatever just popped up, and then in in the top scaffold or whatever it's called, where Elias was basically pushed to his death last week, the Fiend was up there, and him and Cena were just staring at each other, and then out of nowhere, Bray Wyatt just pops right behind Cena and straight up looked like Cena crapped his pants or something. He got scared. He was like, "Oh, you know." So yeah, it was a really good show. It was a really good way to accept the challenge, and because the whole time Cena was like, "I don't even think Bray Wyatt knows what a Firefly Funhouse match is," and this and that. And anyways, so also they did announce that the change in the main not the main event, but they did announce the change for the Universal title, saying that Braun, and a lot of people were pissed off. They're like, "Oh, they straight up did Roman wrong." Dude, the WWE is avoiding the word coronavirus in well, I just said it. They're avoiding to say that word on TV. I haven't heard them say that once. So they straight up said, "Hey, at WrestleMania 36, Roman Reigns will not be there, and he will be replaced by Braun Strowman to take on Goldberg." A lot of people I saw online were pissed off last night saying, "Well, why didn't they say that Roman Reigns wasn't going to be part of WrestleMania because of what's going on with COVID-19 and all this stuff and his leukemia?" They just don't want to talk about it, guys. Whether you like it or not, they don't want to, for whatever reason. I mean, we kind of know how Vince McMahon is, right? It doesn't say hospital, says medical facility and all this stuff. He just doesn't want to bring that word on TV, and I get it. Maybe it's not to get fans worried, and maybe because maybe the fans don't know, and a lot of fans will think, oh, that he's positive. Now, I saw some jabroni on social media saying that Roman Reigns pulled out because he tested positive for COVID 19. No, he didn't. He straight up said, "I do not have the virus. I am pulling out for my health because my health for myself, my family is more important than being there." So people, get your facts straight before you come out and say this stuff. Honestly, that's it's just irritating. Basically, they were calling Roman Reigns a bunch of stuff, saying that he was this or that because of what happened, because of him pulling out. Like, dude, just relax. He pulled out and he did it on his own because of what was going on.
Here are your wrestling news and rumors.
So, starting off at the top from the beginning of the week, according to Fightful this week, they said that each WrestleMania night will be around 3 hours and 15 minutes, which will total up to 6.5 hours. But if you add a pre-show for an hour of pre-show for every day, that is 4 hours and 15 minutes, which will give you 8.5 hours. But I don't watch the pre-show because I don't think there's going to be pre-show matches since there's only 16 matches and there isn't any battle royals. After that, AEW announced an 8-man tournament for the new TNT Championship starting The matches will start on April 8th. Now, the tournament bracket for that is Sean Spears versus Cody Rhodes, Sammy Guevara versus Darby Allin, Dustin Rhodes versus Kip Sabian, and Lance Archer versus Colt Cabana. I think it's going to lead into a Cody versus Lance Archer, and Lance Archer will win to automatically make that belt be legit. After that, WrestleMania was announced that it's going to be offered in a lot of places on regular pay-per-view, through Fight TV, through FS1. They're just it doesn't make sense. A lot of people were saying that it doesn't make sense that you guys are offering it for free on the WWE network, but yet you guys are still trying to sell pay-per-view. Or you guys are still trying to sell that pay-per-view. Also in this week, Raw drew a 1.924 million, which is super low. In the third hour, I think it dropped to 1.6 million. Well, they started off the first hour over 2 million, but it dropped like crazy to the third hour. I think it was like 1.6 million. Honestly, that sucks. It really does, and it really worries. Well, to me, it worries me in a way that hopefully, I don't know, man. I think it's just too much stuff that's going on in the world that a lot of people don't even care about wrestling anymore because of everything that's going on. But yeah, WrestleMania 32. Last time I checked, got 720,000 views on ESPN when they replayed that old WrestleMania. Kylie Ray has signed with Impact Wrestling. AEW filed trademarks for Best Summer Ever and Death Triangle. Now, check this one out. The reason AEW has had indie wrestlers go up against their talent in AEW Dark mostly is because they are out of work, because the indie talent is out of work, and so Tony Khan is helping them out by putting them on dark matches, which means they are getting checks from AEW. I don't know if you guys heard me talk about AEW Dark last week. There was a bunch of people on it last week and this week that were basically indie wrestlers, and Tony Khan is doing his best to help these guys still get paid, even by even by being on a match with AEW talent. Yes, they aren't beating the AEW talent, but they're still getting paid for their losses, and especially in times like this, that's pretty awesome for Tony Khan to be doing that. And now let's get into more of the news. My bad. My mind just fired a blank so early in the morning. Then we had, according to WrestleNews.co, WWE could be releasing some talent after things get back to normal due to them losing money during WrestleMania. For those of you who don't know what that means, right? Because they make a lot of money at WrestleMania, right? They make money from ticket sales, from the concession. Well, not, I don't think. Yeah, I think they make money from the concession stands, the T-shirt stands, all the stuff that they sell there, and the way that the WWE stock is going, they are just doing their best to sell. They're going to do their best to save money, not sell. They're going to do their best to save money, which could result in them releasing some talent. Also, there is speculation that Ronda Rousey could be working on a new WWE deal, which means it shouldn't be too long until we see her back on TV. My guess is a lot of people are saying, oh, maybe she shows up at WrestleMania 36. No, because she would get a huge pop, and it would be better for her to return once the crowds are back. On Wrestling Observer Live, Brian Alvarez noted that Montez Ford's flip dive to the outside, where he landed hard on his back on Raw, wasn't planned, as he was supposed to be tripped by Seth Rollins before doing the move. Like I said, Seth Rollins kind of missed his spot, and he was supposed to trip. And Seth Rollins was there, but was kind of late, and which resulted in Montez Ford taking that dive over the top. Florida issued a stay-at-home lockdown statewide for 30 days, which by the looks of it will result in the WWE not being able to tape any more shows, which means they could possibly end with time off if they can't find a new location. WWE Money in the Bank won't happen in May as planned. AEW's rating for this week was 685,000, which is really down from, I think they had like 819,000 last week, something like that. And NXT dropped to 590,000, which last week they were up in the 650,000. Vince McMahon has lost faith in the WWE network, and this may be the last time they put WrestleMania on the network because it could go back to normal pay per view. It is reported that Kenny Omega is wrestling through a shoulder injury, possibly a torn labrum, which is a muscle in his shoulder. But check this out. According to PW Torch, AEW Dynamite has weeks of material recorded already, possibly leading up all the way to their pay per view in May, Double or Nothing. And if that is true, hopefully Kenny Omega can take all this time off and recover from that injury because most likely they will have a match at Double or Nothing. I don't know if he's going to need surgery. I heard that it's pretty bad. So if he needs surgery, that is going to take him out of action for a while. But prayers and everything goes out to Kenny Omega that he gets better because he is an amazing wrestler and has been putting on amazing matches. Pete Dunne has not been on NXT due to him being in a travel ban that isn't allowing him to travel to the United States. Finally, according to an article by Fightful, a new report suggests that anybody who would leak any information regarding the two-night extravaganza would be terminated by WWE. Now, I don't know about you guys, not that I looked for any, but I straight up couldn't find any WrestleMania 36 leaks, spoilers or whatever, um, which is awesome because it was pre-taped, so it would have been easy. But basically, that's what WWE was going off of, saying, "Hey, we're not gonna let anybody leak out any information because if you do, you're gonna get you will be fired." It's simple as that. And I totally understand some people are like, "Oh, that's kind of harsh." No, because it's understandable. Like, they're like, "Hey, because this is what's really going on." Because this is what's really going on. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to find some quick news, see if there's anything else in the news. But yeah, basically, WWE said because of what's going on, there's no reason why we should leak anything. We should just, you know, go as planned and try to surprise everyone as we should. And it's awesome. I like that they're doing that because it's better for us. Now, also in the news that I saw this morning was basically that Fox and the USA Network were annoyed with WWE over the WrestleMania replays. Fox wanted to show old events on FS1 and leading up to WrestleMania, and apparently a deal never got done there. But I saw somebody from ESPN, I think one of their somebody that has a really good position in ESPN was basically saying, I don't have the exact words, but it was basically saying, look, we got all these old WrestleManias because we need a content for the channel. Once everything goes back to normal, we'll see, but we're most likely not gonna care about the WWE anymore, which is a straight shot at them. But let's see. Let's see. I am trying to check out, see what I can find. I'm trying to see. It's all stuff for you. Current event. Set for April 4th. No, yeah. By the looks of it, there's not any more news to get into. So, all right. Wait a minute. What is going on? Sorry, guys. I'm on my phone trying to see this. So I'm going to pull up the WrestleMania 36 card. We are getting close to approaching our 40-minute mark. Probably go for another 10-15 minutes as we do have a lot to talk about. So, no, I don't want to start with those. I guess let me scroll all the way down. All right, so let's start it off with Otis versus Dolph Ziggler. I am going to go with Otis. I was originally going to go with Dolph Ziggler, but because of what happened last night on Friday Night SmackDown and that straight up heel turn from Sonya Deville on Mandy Rose, I feel like Mandy Rose is going to want to be on Otis' side, which will result in Otis picking up the win and then putting Mandy on his shoulder and carrying her out, and which will result in them being a couple now, which is going to be awesome. But I straight up am locking down for Otis to pick up that win on Dolph Ziggler. Now, a lot of people are like, oh, but what about Robert Roode? I don't know what's going on with Robert Roode. I haven't heard about him being at any tapings, which means Tucker is there, and Tucker will make sure that Otis gets Mandy and that he picks up the win. So that's who I am choosing for that match, Otis. The next one is Elias versus King Corbin. Now, I think Michael Cole last night on Friday Night SmackDown said that the match was still going on, but Elias has not been cleared yet. There's a lot of people going around saying that maybe Gronkowski's gonna put himself in the match, or they're gonna have Gronkowski help out Elias. I don't. That is a possibility, but I'm gonna lock down with King Corbin. He is the heel. I think King Corbin deserves the victory here. Aleister Black versus Bobby Lashley. Now, this match has no build-up, but I think I am going to go with Aleister Black. Yeah, I'm going with Aleister Black. I think it's going to be a quick and easy match. I think if any match deserves to be a squash match, I'm sorry, is this one. I would love to see Aleister Black just black mass Bobby Lashley, black mass his head off, and get the 1-2-3. Now let's go into the Women's Tag Team Championship match. We have the Kabuki Warriors versus Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. I am going to go with Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross because I think Asuka will be Shayna Baszler's next opponent for that Raw Women's title. And like I said, Asuka's been the MVP. I think she deserves a single title run, and maybe move Kairi Sane to the SmackDown brand and have her chase that title as well. Now the Raw Tag Team Championship match, the Street Profits versus Austin Theory and Angel Garza. I am going to go Street Profits in the way that Austin Theory and Angel Garza pick up that win. Though it would be awesome to see them win it. But my thing is, look, they're putting these two guys in a team. If they were building up chemistry through other tag team matches, then I would give them a better chance. But since they haven't, I'm going with the Street Profits to retain. So this is okay. So we have the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match: Miz and Morrison versus the New Day versus the Usos in a ladder match. But I'm gonna read this off. I'm on CBSSports.com. Right, they wrote the New Day and the Usos recently renewed their rivalry for a chance to become number one contenders, and after interference from the champs, both teams were given the opportunity. In my bad. After interference from the champs, both teams were given the opportunity in the ladder match setting. However, this match will likely not come to fruition. My bad. Fruition. I wasn't the best in English. As PW Insider reported on Friday that The Miz did not take part in the WrestleMania 36 tapings after heading home with an illness. Now, supposedly, it's going to be Morrison versus somebody versus either Jimmy or Jay Uso versus either Big E or Kofi Kingston in a singles triple threat ladder match, still with both belts on the line. I do believe the Usos will win, and we'll go into the Usos versus the New Day, and I think we will find another team to put in there. And at SummerSlam, we will have a TLC match for those titles. So yeah, I think Miz and Morrison have straight up run their time as champions, even though they haven't held it for that long. But honestly, they don't need it. I would like to see Morrison get in the Universal title picture. He's never won the major championship in the WWE, so I think it would be cool to see him do that. The Intercontinental Championship is on the line as Sami Zayn defends it against Daniel Bryan. I am going to go with Sami Zayn to retain. He barely won the title. I think it is way too early for Sami Zayn to drop the belt. I think if he was to drop it to somebody, it would be Drew Gulak. So yeah, I don't think it's gonna be I don't think it's gonna be Daniel Bryan at this moment. Going up to the next match, championship, the Fatal Five Way elimination match between Bayley versus Lacey Evans versus Tamina versus Naomi versus Sasha Banks. Now, a lot of people are predicting Bayley will win, but she will pick up the win over Sasha Banks. No, I am gonna go with Sasha Banks will walk out as the new as the new women's championship, which will then lead into Bayley, I guess, turning even more heel on Sasha, and Sasha will become face, and it will lead into this rivalry that we've been wanting to see for this belt for a long time now. Now we have Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins. This one, I'm 50-50 on this because um, a while ago I reported that supposedly Seth Rollins was going to take time off, but now the rumor is going around. Where's my water? The rumor is going around that Seth Rollins is supposed to be. Hold up. That Seth Rollins is supposed to be the challenger for whoever wins the WWE Championship. But I am going to go with Kevin Owens. I think it is time for Kevin Owens, if they want Kevin Owens to step into that spotlight of being a great wrestler in the business more than he already is. I think it is time for Kevin Owens to create his WrestleMania moment by beating Seth Rollins. Then we have The Undertaker versus AJ Styles in a Boneyard match. Going with the Phenom, my favorite wrestler, The Undertaker, Big Evil, the Ministry of Darkness, the American Badass, Mean Mark Calloway, The Undertaker. That's who I am going with. Look, I forgot to mention on that promo, he straight up called him Alan Jones or something? AJ Styles' real name. So that was pretty interesting. But Undertaker will beat AJ Styles. Now, a lot of people are like, oh, look, AJ Styles is going to get over. A lot of people are saying, oh, why doesn't he put Styles over? Look, I think Undertaker is done losing. I think he has one or two WrestleManias left, and including with this one. So he might have another WrestleMania left in him, depending who they can get next year for him. And yeah, so I'm going with the Undertaker. Then we are having the NXT Women's Champion with Rhea Ripley going against Charlotte Flair, the Queen Charlotte Flair. I was originally going to go with Rhea. I was, but I am going with Charlotte Flair. I think the belt would be great on her. I think she can have a lot of good matches on NXT and really revamp that brand to what it is. A lot of people are saying, "Oh, why is Charlotte gonna go win this third brand title after that's where she came up? That's developmental." Look, Charlotte Flair goes on there. I think Rhea Ripley will be the one to take that belt from Charlotte in the end. But she can go on there this time. I think this time she can put on a really good match against Bianca Belair. She can go up against Io Shirai. She can go up against Mia Yim, Dakota Kai, Tegan Knox. Like, I would straight up have her go through the whole roster, and at the same time, Rhea Ripley rebuilding herself to kind of have that moment. Let's say she holds the title from now until SummerSlam, and at SummerSlam you have Rhea Ripley beat her. A lot of people are like, "Oh, but what if Charlotte Flair holds the belt until next um next WrestleMania or whatever?" No, just have her hold the belt from here to SummerSlam. Have her go through the super talented roster. Like, I'm not gonna straight up say that she should become the Brock Lesnar of the women's division in NXT and just beat everybody in 5-minute matches. No, have her go out there and put on banger matches with that talented NXT women's roster. So I'm going with Charlotte Flair. Now we have the Raw Women's Championship match, Becky Lynch versus Shayna Baszler. I'm going with Shayna Baszler because I would like to see Becky lose and give herself not a year, but I would like to see her maybe win the belt back around SummerSlam or Survivor Series around that time. And then if we do have Ronda Rousey return so that we can get Becky and Ronda. Nothing against Shayna. I think Shayna should win the belt, hold the title for a while, and then maybe jump ship to SmackDown and win the title over there. So that's who I'm going with, Shayna Baszler to win and become the new Raw Women's Champion. Now we have the Firefly Funhouse match, and I'm going with the Fiend Bray Wyatt. I want to see him put on a 10-15 minute match where he is straight up beating the living crap out of John Cena. I don't know what that Firefly Funhouse match is going to be, but I want to see the Fiend straight up dominate Cena for 10 to 15 minutes. That's all I want to see, guys. Look, I like Cena. After watching the Ruthless Aggression episode, I have a whole new respect for him than I did when I was younger. But it's time for the Fiend to go over, and we got to rebuild the Fiend. A great idea that I have for the Fiend is maybe not every year at WrestleMania, but every couple months have him go through everybody that he's lost to, which means having him go through the Undertaker, Randy Orton, and those others that he's lost to, and just rebuild the Fiend into the monster that he needs to be. We have Edge versus Randy Orton in the Last Man Standing match. I am gonna go with Edge to straight up put on a really good. I think it's gonna be like a 20-minute match, but yeah, I'm gonna go with Edge. I don't want to see Randy win. I like Randy, but Randy, you're rude. You straight up try to re-injure Edge. You went after Beth Phoenix, his wife. You talked about his kids. It's time for your ass to get beat by the rated R superstar Edge. Now we are going to the Universal Championship. Goldberg versus Braun Strowman. No storyline. But I am going to go with Braun Strowman. A lot of people say, no, I think it's going to be Goldberg. Goldberg will hold the belt, and then Roman will beat him at SummerSlam. No, because I don't think they're willing. I mean, think about it. If crowds come before SummerSlam, right? Let's say they come a month in before SummerSlam, like June, July. Is the WWE really not going to show that Universal Championship until the build to SummerSlam? No, I think you could put Braun Strowman in a bunch of squash matches and have him actually defend the title. That's what I would do. So I'm going with Braun Strowman. Now let's get into what I think will be the main event of night 2, Brock Lesnar versus Drew McIntyre. Now I think this will be close to a 15-20 minute match. I think these guys will put on a really good match. A lot of people are saying maybe that they don't mind if Brock Lesnar wins and that they wait until the fans are back. Let's say like everyone's guessing around SummerSlam and have him win there. No, I think it's time for them to pull the trigger. Look, because of everything that's going on with everything that's going on in the world, us fans at home want to feel good watching WrestleMania. And what better way to feel good than by having Drew McIntyre win and beating Brock Lesnar and pass the torch to Drew McIntyre? Because in reality, we don't know what's going to happen, right? Let's say it all clears up by SummerSlam. But you're not going to be in a big enough, or you're not going to be in an 80,000 seat arena. You're going to be in around a 20,000 seat arena. Yes, would that look better in a video package? Yeah, it would. But it'll be better on his resume. Yes, he beat him in an empty arena, WrestleMania, but that's better. Don't wait, WWE, to pull the trigger. Pull the trigger now, before it's too late, and before, knowing how WWE fans are, before they just get over Drew. They're like, he didn't win it now. I don't really care if he wins it at SummerSlam. Pull the trigger now before it's too late, honestly. Because if you wait until, like, I know the whole crowd thing is important. Like I said last week, I think that's going to be one of the matches that needed a crowd. But it's better to pull the trigger now before it's too late. So that pretty much wraps up my WWE predictions, my WrestleMania 36 predictions on this Saturday morning. Though you guys are probably going to be hearing this by midday because it takes forever to upload and export and upload. Like I said, Otis will beat Dolph Ziggler. King Corbin will beat Elias. Aleister Black will be Bobby Lashley. Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross will be the Kabuki Warriors. The Street Profits will retain. The Usos will win the ladder match to become new SmackDown Tag Team Champions. Sami Zayn will retain. Sasha Banks will become new SmackDown Women's Champion. Kevin Owens will beat Seth Rollins. Undertaker will be AJ Styles. Charlotte Flair will defeat Rhea Ripley. Shayna Baszler will defeat Becky Lynch. Bray Wyatt, the Fiend Bray Wyatt will defeat John Cena. Edge will defeat Randy Orton. Braun Strowman will defeat Goldberg to become the Universal Champion. And Drew McIntyre will defeat Brock Lesnar to become the WWE Champion. Those are my WrestleMania 36 predictions, and I'm locking them in as of right now. Now, that's pretty much it for the show. I think we're still a little bit under an hour or at an hour, coming close. I've been working hard. I know last time I said I was going to release some small videos. I've been working hard on these videos. I'm trying to get up to like 10 scripts done for like 10 videos. So maybe tomorrow I might wake up early and start recording some of these videos, but I want to get all the scripts done, because then when the scripts are done, I got to record the audio, then I got to edit them. But I got like I said, I'm going to have like 10 videos in the can waiting to release, and I will be releasing those weekly. So I got a lot of content I'm coming up with. I'm still kind of trying to come up with a bunch of different ideas, trying to find ways to review some old wrestling to see how that will do on my channel. But yeah, I just want to finish off with just giving you guys that information. I still got to buy my domain name. I haven't forgot about that. Just, it's been crazy. It's a crazy time, honestly. What a crazy time to be alive. Stay safe out there. Follow whatever rules and regulations are in the city that you're in. Like I said, we don't go out unless I need to. Unless we need something to cook with or whatever. Otherwise, we don't go out. We stay. Me and my family, we stay home. But yeah, get super. I haven't really talked about this whole thing like I usually do, because it's time to get excited for WrestleMania 36, guys. Honestly, empty arena, not empty arena. Look, we're gonna get 2 nights of this, because it's too big for one night. That's for sure. Ain't that right, WWE? But it's going to be fun. Hope everybody can have a fun time. Hope everybody can enjoy themselves for WrestleMania 36. It's going to be an awesome show. Can't wait to talk to you guys can't wait for you guys to hear my reactions about it next week. So yeah, until then, everybody out there, stay safe. Like I said, follow the rules and regulations. Be at home. Watch WrestleMania 36. Enjoy yourself. Get some wings. Get some whatever it is that you drink. Get some food in your stomach while you're watching, before you watch, whatever the case is. I'm most likely going to eat before I watch. I should be watching this at home, hopefully. Or, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'll be watching this at home on my TV, on the WWE Network. If you don't have the WWE Network, subscribe now, watch it for free, and then you can cancel after. But yeah, man, WrestleMania 36 is here. It's finally here. Super excited. Can't believe my first WrestleMania back is going to be an empty arena WrestleMania. But y'all have a good Saturday and Sunday. Enjoy WrestleMania 36. This has been Kevin Danger. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. First Pin. Going to be coming soon with a bunch of new content for you guys. But, like I said, the podcast will always be the main event of the show. So that's pretty much it. I'm done here. Y'all be safe. Until next week, stay safe, y'all. Follow your rules and regulations from wherever you live. Let's all be healthy. Prayers go out to any of you out there suffering, that have lost a job, or maybe know a family member that is fighting this virus. Prayers go out to you guys. Thank you guys for listening, as always. This has been another First Pin episode, and this is Kevin signing off.